Andy Austin here, up in the attic for the next video in Better Marketing for Coaches. And this one is on imposter syndrome. Unpopular view coming up. If you feel like you're an imposter, you probably are. There is so much fakery that goes on with things like coaching and counseling and basically anyone who is trying to make themselves attractive to a marketplace and they're working solo as some kind of personal development coach or guru or practitioner. Because for some reason, you must invent yourself to be perfect, to be bigger than life, larger than life, to be grandiose and to be better at basically be an expert on everything. And then create the illusion of qualification. You can join the grand falloons, all the organizations, societies and associations that essentially will take your money. Some offer you something back, but most of them are just giving you membership so you can say, I'm a member of, I'm fully approved by, I'm fully accredited. Most of these organizations aren't real. They just exist to create the illusion of authenticity. And you probably know that if you've got imposter syndrome. People like to list who they're accredited by, who they're member of, as though that's a qualification. They will also list things like, I'm fully insured, as though that's some kind of qualification. In the quest for market-based authenticity, people start to spin an illusion around themselves to make themselves look like something more than they actually are. They may well still be a person with problems, because for some reason, every coach, therapist, counselor, blah, 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 has to be better and godlike and have no problems whatsoever and have perfectly aligned chakras and emotions and all those other things. I must be the perfect person. I must be wise. I must give counsel to people. The insanity of the mindset of so many coaches and therapists when they move into this kind of line of work is crazy. They also feel they have to present themselves as to have godlike powers and skill sets. Because they'll look at things like established trainers and practitioners who tell you how they can cure cancer. They're lying, by the way. Remember COVID, when that was still a thing, and every practitioner and tapper and every therapist on the planet had to put up a YouTube video on how to cope with COVID stress, how to cope with COVID anxiety. In amongst that, there were plenty of people telling you that they could, using their techniques and methodologies, raise your immune system to COVID-proof you and you'd never get infected ever again. And there was even those people saying that they could cure it. Yeah, they were lying, by the way. Every single one of them. Absolutely deluded as hell. You don't have to be like them. You don't have to try and compete with that mindset and that kind of insanity. Remember, so many people, as they present themselves on the internet, on their Instagram pages, on their Facebook pages, on their Twitter, they are lying. They're creating this illusion. They're creating this kind of total fabrication of their reality. And it's not just the Instagram generation kids doing this. Lots of coaches and therapists are doing this too. How do I know that? Because I know some of these people in real life and I see their marketing. And when they claim they can cure cancer, I mean, come on, let's be realistic. We've got a few magic words, a swish pattern here and there, and a tapping on an energy point that doesn't exist. Yeah. So you've got to be realistic, you've got to be sensible, and most importantly, you have to be you. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't spin an illusion around yourself to try and create an image that in somehow is competitive and attractive in the marketplace of people with problems. Because remember, people with problems who want help from a counselor, therapist, practitioner of some description, they want someone who... There's only several qualities here. Can I trust you? That's the most important thing. Can I trust you with my money? And can I trust you with my mind and soul? That's pretty significant. Are you likely to be able to help me? I guarantee 100% or 97.7% success rate. Really? Really? Is that absolutely true? Or have you just made that up? So when somebody is actually quite authentic and this is who I am and this is how long I've been practicing for and I've got some skill sets here and I'm still practicing and developing stuff there, I'm not going to pretend to have any qualifications because they're all illusions. That creates a very different impression. Now, I'm not a complete fool. I understand that if I present myself on a nicely made website, I put some letters after my name, I buy my PhD, I call myself doctor, I put lots of letters after my name, I create these affiliations and associations and accreditations, and I have images of me I make claims that I work with celebrities and this kind of stuff. Yeah, there will be people who will be impressed by that. There will be. But you've got to look at what sort of life is that person building for themselves when everything they do is a lie. I know coaches and practitioners who years in now, I started out in 94, 95. They started out either around about the same time or shortly after. And they've come so far down the line now in believing their own hype, believing their own bullshit. It is incredible to me, just the stuff I see on their videos and on their website, the lies they spew. It's incredible. And I just think, okay, so if you're putting that out in public on a regular basis, these are the things you're saying to your clients, these are the things you're saying to people with problems and to trainees if they're running courses, then I have to look at what sort of life does that person live. I imagine quite a stressful one, because they're creating such inauthenticity, such deviation from who they really are. That can't be healthy, can't be. They end up creating YouTube videos claiming to cure COVID or cure cancer. I mean, there's plenty of those online, just have a look. So, what do we do? First of all, if you feel like you're an imposter, you probably are impostering. That's probably quite realistic. If you've just started out, be someone who's just started out. If you're somebody who's working through your own stuff as well, tell people you're working through your own stuff as well and you're gathering experience. If you need to gain experience, tell people that's what you're doing. You'll be amazed at what happens. When I started out and I would put out posters and adverts really asking for people to help me out because I need to gather experience, I was surprised at just how many people came to see me or asked to come and see me. They have to think about, why would people do that? If I'm a person with problems and I want to get some help and I book in to see you, a therapist, I'm now a patient. I've made an identity transition from being just a dude with a problem to being someone who's a patient or client and has mental health issues. That's what happens. There's a transition made at the identity level. But if you're looking for experience with people like myself with the kind of problem that I've got, and I come to see you, albeit I'm going to pay you a reduced fee because you're getting experience, now I'm helping you out. I'm not making that identity change. And so we can see a very different mindset in terms of how people approach what it is we're doing. To be this person who has to be godlike in their powers, to be completely sorted out mentally and emotionally every possible way, the perfected human being, is, I think, rather foolish. To be creating illusions of qualification is also very foolish. If you are just starting, be someone who's just starting. If you only have limited skill sets, be that person who has limited skill sets. Don't pretend to be more than that. Somebody who's just learnt to fly a single-seater or single-propeller Cessna aircraft. A lot goes into learning how to fly that aircraft. A lot of risk is taken. A lot of expense goes into that. And sure enough, within a while of getting enough hours, there'll be quite an experienced pilot in that little aircraft. But they're not going to pretend that they're an airline pilot, are they? And yet somehow coaches and therapists tend to have the mindset that says they have to pretend. Fake it till you make it. I remember when I started out looking at the whole NLP thing back in the 90s, it was the act as if frame was really popular. In order to be successful, you must act as if you're already successful. And oh my God, you should have seen the dipshits wandering around courses and practice groups and all the rest of it with their power handshakes and their NLP laugh. That's gone out of fashion now, thankfully, the NLP laugh. But there were people actually pretending to be things because they thought that they'd win respect and actually do well as a result. And all that they did was make themselves look like idiots, really. So I don't recommend any of those things. Be what you are. Don't try and be anybody else. Don't end up like some of these people who are now 25 years plus down the line who are so deluded they claim to cure cancer. I mean, just don't be one of those people. There's no need for it. Be actually what you are and feel comfortable with that. You don't need to compete with all the lies that everyone else is telling. There's no value to it. Now, as always, do please use the comment section, click the like button, always appreciated. Any counter examples, people are coming up with some really good points actually on previous videos, and I do appreciate those things. You don't have to be in agreement with me, but any comment, well, 2 reasons for comments. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps me shape what I'm going to do in the next video. So any comments, questions, feedback, anything like that, use the comment section, do click the like button. I'll see you in the next video.